Hello, everybody. Welcome to Parents Talk, where we help raise strong and confident kids today so we don't have to fix broken adults later. And the one thing I wish I had when I was younger was financial literacy training. I wish somebody taught me financial literacy. Yes, my parents said save. Yes, my parents say we can't afford that. But no one talked to me about investing money. And that's why I invited Macy Baxi on here to talk about how to have this conversation with your kids. And she's going to give you just a short little presentation that we will put up on the kids channel, Sparkle Feathers TV on YouTube. Sparkle Feathers TV is my new creation, and it's educational videos for children to help fill the gaps that they're not getting in school. And overwhelmingly, when I did a little survey, I found that financial literacy is the number one issue that parents and educators think kids need more. So we're going to have a whole series of different financial literacy teachings for the kids. And the first one is what Macy did. So Macy's going to go through just a little bit of her presentation and show you what she did for kids. But more importantly, while you're listening, think about how you would approach your kids to help support them in all the things she's talking about. Okay, Macy.
Thank you so much, Francine, for this honor. I'm super excited. I'm as a 22-year-old now, there are so many things that I know I was so privileged to learn at a young age. And I just want to be able to pass that good fortune along to other kids. So I'm going to share my screen in a moment. And as it loads, these are some of the things that I was using to tell kids how their money can grow, what they can learn about money, and how we can all make smarter decisions. Because I'm sure sometimes telling a kid, we can't have this right now, we can't have this toy, we need to save, they don't fully understand what that means sometimes. So we're just going to go through a few slides that I have to kind of help them understand that there's a lot of small things that they can start now and make a lot better decisions later. So I taught a little bit about how money can grow while you're busy living your life. So here are the three things that we're going to go over. Number one is compound interest. Number two is the rule of 72. And then number three, what are some smart habits? So think of it as like your money superpowers. The tiny choices you make now give you a lot more options in the future. So we say investing is kind of like buying a small, tiny piece of the future. It's putting money into something you believe can grow over time in value. So think of it like helping a good idea grow. I was telling kids that maybe like saving is parking your money safely somewhere. You're not touching it. It's in a corner somewhere. But investing is giving your money a chance to grow. So some examples could obviously be company stocks, funds, real estate, or maybe a business. Telling a lot of the kids, it's basically like if your favorite video game right now got more valuable over time, if more people were interested in over the years, that's a great way for you to understand investing. Compound interest is when your interest earns interest. So think of it like a snowball running downhill. You have a small little ball at the top, and when you push it, all the snow gathers around each other without you having to do anything. And that's exactly what happens to your money when it's put into an interest level account. So you could start with $100 at the top of the hill, and as it rolls all the way to the bottom, you could have over 133. Now, these are obviously pretty small numbers, but especially when talking to kids, it's easy for them to understand the basic numbers rather than getting involved in all the math right now. But the key idea is that your money can start doing some of the work for you without you even touching it. So an example would be maybe just $100 with a 10% growth. So again, just a small figure for kids to wrap their heads around. So you can notice in year one, it's still at 100, but over the next 6 years, it's over at $161. So the dollar jump gets bigger and bigger, $10 and $11, then $12. That's compounding. That's how your money can grow without, again, you not investing another dollar into the account. So this is the rule of 72. So this is something that you can do early with your kids to help them understand that time is on their side. They're actually going to be the smartest in the room by being young and understanding this rule. So this is a fast doubling shortcut. It's basically just the number 72, which is, again, it's just the number 72, divided by the growth rate. And that will equal the years it would take that money to double. You can really show kids that time is on their side right now. They can become multimillionaires, right? Like show them that the world has so many possibilities for them. So if your growth is at 6%, which is pretty good, 72 divided by 6 is about 12 years. So it's not a crazy amount of time, but it is a significant amount of years. If the growth is at 8%, it would take about 9 years for that to double. And obviously, if the growth is over 12%, it'll take only 6 years. Think about it. 6 years is basically middle school and high school for that money to double. So higher growth can double faster, and obviously we understand that it would usually come with some more risk. So those are going to be the differences between a 6 and 8 and a 12. So I asked the kids, which one would double faster using the rule of 72? Would A, 4% growth be faster, or B, 9% growth? Obviously, it's going to be B, but look at the numbers here. This is what's really interesting. So the difference between 4 and 9 is kind of small in the grand scheme of things, right? They're both under 10. But 72 divided by 9 is 8 years. And then 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. So it's a quick brain workout, but I think it really can put into words like how early you can never be too early to start investing and start teaching your kids this. So here are some 3 habits that can make investing less scary for your kids and also for you. So number 1 is obviously starting early. Time is the secret ingredient. Yesterday was always the best day to start your investing journey. Number 2 is spread it out, don't put it all in one account, don't put it all in one interest, spread it out a little bit so you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. And then number 3, obviously expect some bumps. Markets go up and down. Just plan that it's going to happen. And as long as you're going on this journey with someone you trust, someone who you know has your best interest in mind, that is going to make everything so much easier. If you know, hey, my cousin George does this, and I know he's going to care so much about what happens to my money, he's going to keep me updated, that's exactly what you're looking for. So smart investing is not necessarily a get rich quick thing. It's a grow patiently. So here, to wrap it all up, this is what we talked about are your money superpowers, right? Number 1, we talked about compound interest, which is growth on growth. Number 2 is the rule of 72, so just a quick doubling estimate. And then number 3, time and patience and spreading it out equals smarter investing. Ask your kids this. If they invested in $20 a month for the next year, what would they want that future money to help them do?
Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome and a lesson I wish I got when I was younger.
Yeah.
So let me ask, we talked about this is for grades 4 through 6.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we could approach a 3 year or grade third grader with this too?
Um, I I think that there are so many possibilities you can do when you talk to kids about financial education. And I think the biggest thing is putting it into a language they understand. I remember my local bank when I was a kid, they had a program similar to this, teaching kids about finances, saving, and investing. And I think they all use like a lemonade stand as an analogy, right? So I think you can really teach kids as early as possible. And maybe they're not going to fully understand in third grade, but as long as you're exposing them to the words, you're exposing them to the language, that maybe in sixth grade when they feel a little bit more ready for it, it's not going to be as indecipherable for them, right? It's going to seem like, wait, I remember that word from a few years ago. Oh, is that really what it means now? So I think it's something that you can start that conversation as early as they can understand these things. But that might be a patience thing. You might just have to wait a few years for them to really understand what it means.
We are going to be doing videos, and by the time you're watching this, they may already be done, I have a banker friend who's going to be helping me make some videos on counting money and budgeting and other fun topics for the kids where they can learn how to count change and count money, which is all starting this process in learning how to grow money in the future. Now, I met Macy through her father. His name is so close to another friend I have. I didn't want to call the wrong name. Minesh. Yes. And I just listened to what he had to say about how he raised his kids. I mean, they're professional speakers at the very young age. He just raised them with this business sense. And how did your father get you started in wanting to learn this? Because not a lot of kids think this is fun and exciting.
That's kind of my example, is that I was young and he started using these words like interest. He started using big words like that when it comes to investing. And I guess he was just saying it for so long when I was really young. I don't even remember how young I was, but it didn't really mean anything to me at the time. But as the years had gone by and he kept reiterating these basic principles and concepts, once I was finally old enough to really understand, and I personally started working when I was 11. That was my first time I got a job. And so when I was finally at that age where I was dealing with type money all the time, I was really understanding the value of saving. And he was telling me on, what does it mean? And he was using language that I could understand at the time too, right? I think I was really into like American Girl dolls at the time or something. And so using things like interest of, valuables, right? Like something that is valuable, like what I think is maybe a decent price right now. Like the average American Girl doll at the time was $110 and now they're like $130, right? So using him telling me examples on that when it comes to inflation, when it comes to interest, when it comes to growing your money, he was just patient about teaching me as the years had gone by. And because he knew these concepts already when I was born, he started my Roth IRA pretty young. And because of that, it's grown exponentially since then, because he opened it about 8 years ago for me.
So that's another thing that parents could learn, is that if you start now, your capital investment will be so much smaller and will get you to the same spot later when it's time to pay for college.
Yes.
If you wait till they're ready to go to college, I forgot.
Yeah.
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 Avoid that situation when you could start now with maybe even just $20 a paycheck in an interest-bearing account or money market fund and watch it grow while they're in first, second, third grade all the way up through high school versus, they're in high school and they want to go to college. Now what? So I think this training is good for the parents too, who are so, and it's really not their fault. They're just so busy with the day-to-day of making sure their kids are eating and they have a roof over their heads and they have clothes to wear, that sometimes they might not think how easy it is to plan that far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
2 cups of coffee at Starbucks in a savings account will go a whole lot further.
Yeah, I mean, think of it like this way. Not sure if anyone's made pickles before or anything like that, but pickles are only made through time, right? Adding more and more vinegar is not going to make the process speed up. It's not going to make it, faster. Same thing as like you're baking a turkey. Time is the only thing really you need for that, right? You can't necessarily go from 350 to 500 and be like it's going to cook in less time. That's not how it works. And it's the same thing with investing. It's the same thing with money. It's like, yeah, you could put more money into it later, but still that time is too valuable that you can't necessarily speed up that process by thinking, oh, I can invest tomorrow, I'll have more money tomorrow. That's not how it works. As much as we want to, putting $20 yesterday is even better than putting $40 tomorrow. Think of it like that.
That is, I love the turkey analogy because I remember my husband once said, well, let's just turn it up. And I'm like, no, I don't think that'll work. Well, he did it anyways. And it was burnt on the outside,
Yes,
kind of raw on the inside.
exactly.
And that's what your savings account will be like. You'll get this burning desire to have all the money you want, but it's still going to be developing on the inside.
Absolutely.
So tell me, Macy, you have a whole career now around financial planning. Can you tell everybody what you do and maybe how you could help them?
Yeah, well, I help people understand the basics when it comes to their investments, when it comes to protecting their family. We have a pretty easy, I think, a 7-step process to help people with their debt, with their investments, on growing their money, on eliminating some of those issues. And so when it comes to anything like that, that's what I help people with. So I can help them put them in the right state of mind. And then also, we're a very hands on family, like we're all involved with it, which means that we always have some built-in accountability, right? We're going to be with you all the steps of the way. We're not just going to give you some of the solutions and say, good luck, figure it out on your own. We're going to work with you. We're going to help you. And we help families who have as little as, $50 to invest to start, or we have people who, they have a lot of money that they're ready to put into their retirement accounts. Like any such client where they're like, I could at least benefit from learning the basics for at least my family, that's who we help. And that's how you can reach out to me. So the best way to find me is you can find me on any social, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's all just my name, Macy Baxi. So you can just look me up and reach out. Say you're from Francine's video. And I'm so excited to chat and see how we can help each other.
I love this. Do you have any last words for parents on
Mhm.
just any last words that
Yeah.
they could take home with them?
Yeah, so the number one issue when it comes to your finances is that, and the reason people don't seek out help is because they feel like they should already know this, and it's embarrassing to ask for help sometimes. And I completely understand. It's not a fun conversation. It's not easy to seek someone out and say, hey, I don't understand this. Can you help me? It's like being the only person who raises their hand in class, being like, I don't understand this concept. And everyone else is like, oh, I already know it. It feels like that, but that's not the truth. The truth is that seeking something out, learning about what just options there are for you are going to be better not only for you, but for your partner, for your kids, for your grandkids, for your legacy. Are you going to be known as the person who could have gotten help but didn't? Or are you going to be the person that your kids look up to you? Like I look up to my parents, and I know that they did everything in their power to not only do the right things for me, but learn and constantly be learning. So there's no shame. You can be at any age and reach out and say, I need help. And that's just our goal, is to help. That's all it is. And so that's what I just want people to know, is that there's nothing embarrassing. If you learned something new in this video, I'm so happy to hear. You're not supposed to have known these things before. Don't worry about it. Knowing today is better than never knowing. So just a huge hats off to anyone who's interested in learning about these things and helping their family. And I would love to help take that next step.
And here's a little cautionary tale. I know when I needed help, I found the wrong help.
Sure.
And it was back before the computer era, even before all these computer scams. So I can't imagine what it would be like to be totally overwhelmed and not know where to turn. I'm here to tell you, Macy is one of the good ones.
Thank
And
you.
she is there to help and protect. She's not out there to scam you. So
Thank you.
be
Yeah.
very careful who you trust, because they are out there. They say they're going to help you, but all they're looking is for a piece of your action. So
hmm
make sure you vet the people who you want to help you. And
Yeah.
Macy is pre-vetted for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Francine. It means a lot to be vetted like this and be put on your platform.
Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comments and we'll come back and answer them. And please subscribe not only to this channel for my adult audience, but please subscribe to Sparkle Feathers TV, where you could get all of this cool programming for kids, where we're trying to fill the gaps where the schools just don't have the resources to fill anymore. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.